Main Pop Girl.
This is a podcast made by popheads for popheads.
Every episode, y'all can check in with us where we discuss your burning questions as well as what's happening in pop music.
Throughout this series, we'll be chiming in on our favorite recent discussion threads and chatting with some of our all-time favorite artists and music commentators.
Hello, I'm an alt-pop artist, songwriter, and officially too old for Leonardo DiCaprio, Sola.
No. Well, no, he's just started dating a 27-year-old, I think. Unless it's for PR. Right? It wasn't a Gigi Hadid or something?
Good for him.
Yeah.
He's maturing.
So you're back in the age bracket now.
Fantastic.
And I'm a pop rock artist, songwriter, and the only person on this podcast right now who has not gone viral on TikTok yet, AJ Marks.
Oh yeah, sucks to suck, AJ. Yeah.
Sucks to suck. I have one video on TikTok and it's of my cats.
I mean, cats do well on the internet.
That's true.
Speaking of cats or TikTok. Speaking of TikTok, our guest today has just had the most insane 12 months with her song ABCDEFU going #1 in 11 countries, #3 on the Billboard Hot 100, and climbing to the top spot on Billboard's Global 200, meaning it was at one point the biggest song on the entire planet. And on top of that, this was her very first song on a major label, and all before she turned 18. So what the fuck? You've heard everyone talk about her all year, but now she's here to speak for herself. Please welcome GAYLE.
Oh my gosh, you got all the facts right there. What an intro. Oh my gosh.
Do we call you Taylor or GAYLE?
I go by GAYLE normally. Like when I started going by GAYLE by like 14. So my brother was like, fuck you. Like I pierced my nose and dyed my hair. And was like, I'm GAYLE. And my mom was like, shut the fuck up. I don't care.
Oh my God. My sister did that when she was 10. She was like, I'm Vivi Love now. I'm not Veronica anymore.
Vivi Love!
I love this.
And I refused to call her that. And then I started calling her that. And she was like, I'm Veronica again. I don't want to be Vivi Love anymore.
Gigi Love.
Oh my God, was she dropping like rap songs at the same time?
No, she got the idea from Ashley Simpson's Love, because she would sing it Lovv, and because her middle name is Vivian, so she'd be Vivi. Yeah.
You know, I prefer my middle name as well, but you know, I wasn't bold enough. I just knew that I couldn't respond to it.
Yeah, I do feel a bit like a grandmother, like the name GAYLE. Like I've only heard people's grandmothers be named GAYLE, but I kind of fucked with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were like,
I got grandma vibes. I'm an old soul.
Yeah.
I also liked the idea of people, like I started going by GAYLE at 14. And so I liked the idea of people thinking it was like a grandmother. And then I'm just like this 14-year-old that's just like, hi.
Sup, grandma? What's good?
I baked you oatmeal cookies. Those actually do slap.
There's my favorite. How did you know? Did you Google me before this podcast?
It's grandma on me. I just know these things.
I tell you what's better than oatmeal raisin is oatmeal craisin, which is my little recipe where I put craisins in there, dried cranberries.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Okay, I've not thought about craisins in a minute. I used to eat craisins like my life depended on it, and they just don't have them in the UK.
Oh yeah, we live in the UK, by the way.
Oh my gosh. I don't know why I just wouldn't think that the UK wouldn't have craisins. But the more you know.
They don't have so much shit.
They don't have so much that you would not think about.
Like manners. Yeah. So let's start off with an icebreaker. What's everyone listening to right now?
Oh my goodness.
Sola, you first.
Oh my goodness. I'll go first. I've been feeling like a little like nostalgia mama, you know, and I thought maybe that would rhyme. It didn't really, but I've just been going back and listening to some like rocky music to hype me up. And I have been listening to like Rage Against the Machine.
Ooh.
What about you, AJ? What have you been listening to?
Oh, you're going to love this, Sola. Playgirl, and it's by Lolo Zawai.
Oh.
Lolo!
It's like, welcome to playgirl.com. And it's like her song where she's basically a porn site as well. It's really funny.
Oh my God.
And it ends with like Lolo is logging off.
She's been having so much fun recently. Like, did you listen to her song Scooter?
Scooter Braun diss track. We love to see it. So
that's what
kidding.
it is.
I'm just kidding. I have no idea. That's what it is. So GAYLE, I see you frantically looking through your Spotify. What are you listening to right now?
I really, really fuck with Wet Leg. They just put out an album.
Wet Leg, yes.
Wet Leg. I recently, when I've been doing festivals over the summer, I've like ran into them and like listened to their sets too. And I kind of found their music earlier before the summer. It was like probably like 6 months ago or something like that. I keep coming back to it. Like they just have so many songs that I just like keep consistently going back to. And I really love like their attitude, and I really love them as people. And I also love the way they perform live, and just their music's just simply cool. Like there's just a few people who, when I'm around, it's so like daunting because they're just so fucking cool, and that it's just them. That is like the peak of coolness to me.
Do you have a favorite song?
Oh gosh, okay. I feel like the obvious one is Shay's Lounge, but
of course,
I feel like one of my favorites by them is Being in Love.
Ooh, I don't know that one.
The hook is like, it feels like somebody punched me in the gut, but I like it because it kind of feels like being in love.
Ooh,
love that.
I don't know. It's just a really cool song, and their instrumentation is just ridiculous.
I love their music videos as well.
Oh yeah,
They have fun.
Their visuals are really cool, and
They have fun.
They do have fun. Well, like if you watch them, it just looks like fun.
Yeah,
Like
no, I get what you mean.
They're just like running around in like hats and shit. I know that that's so vague. That's so vague.
Listeners, if you have not heard of Wet Leg before, don't listen to Sola's sales pitch on them, because running around in hats.
I don't know why I'm on this podcast.
just listen to the music. Just
Yes, absolutely. Let the music speak for itself.
yes.
So, Gayle, I want to start this off by letting you know that your song Indie Edgy Cool is one of my favorite songs of this year.
Oh my god.
I kind of think of it as a response to Royals by Lorde, because like 9 years ago, the counterculture was like, yeah, there are all these party songs on the radio and glorification of like rich celebrities, but I'm moody and like misunderstood. And now we have like the opposite problem, where there are like kids like glorifying poverty on TikTok, and there's like a whole culture of rejecting anything that is even like slightly perceived as inauthentic. You know what I mean? Like it's like if they can smell anything, they're like, I'm out. It's not for me. Was any of this going through your head when you were writing the song?
100%. I mean, I wrote the song this year in February-ish, and there's a couple things like after putting out ABC, it was just absolutely frantic. Like it was absolutely incredible, everything that's happened. But there's, once it got to a specific point, especially when I was like on the radio, and I feel like especially when it got to like top 10, as I kind of saw an attitude in people when the song hit a specific point in the success where it's just like it wasn't cool to them anymore. Like they instantly decided it wasn't cool, and then their like opinion was fact about it. Like it was just, I kept consistently saying, and I'm very comfortable in the fact that like people don't like my music, people don't like a lot of music. It's just when you have to like go to the internet about it and like be in a comment section and talk about it, like your opinion is fact. And also people who they have this like hierarchy of coolness and what they decide is cool is not. And yeah, just kind of saying like, oh, that's cringe, or like, I don't like that, so it's not cool. And just caring like so much. And then I went to a party with a bunch of people I just didn't like. Like I just hated them so much. Like they were just so annoying, and they thought they were so fucking cool. And I remember I used to say the phrase indie edgy cool a lot because I like care about being cool a little too much, especially like in the beginning, even pre ABC like coming out, just trying to figure out how to like put myself on TikTok and put myself on social media. Like to think about the way you're being perceived was a really like, it like fucked with my head. And
oh my God,
think about the way you'll be perceived in 10 years when people dig up old tweets.
Or if my kids look at this, like what?
Literally, like honestly, I think about that all the time. Is like, I like make sure that everything I say, I won't be embarrassed about it.
You
in
deleted
like 5
all
years.
your you deleted all your Coney 2012 tweets.
Coney 2012. I did not have Twitter in 2012.
I deleted my Tumblr for this reason, though. I was like, God damn it, this is a dumpster fire.
I deleted my Facebook when I hit high school, and then I just started a new one. I was like, fresh start.
Like, I cannot, no. And so I started saying this phrase, indie edgy cool, to kind of make fun of the way I care, because I just had so many boxes that I was trying to check, and I was like, who fucking cares? Like, who actually cares if I wear Doc Martens and look like a Pinterest board all the time? Like, who actually genuinely cares? And so then I said the phrase, I was with my best friend, and I said the phrase like, oh, but it's an indie edgy cool, and a bitch I fucking hated, like just I'm so petty.
Oh my God, give it though. Me too. I love this. I feed off of it.
She was just like, oh my God, that should be a song. And they may have put in music too. And so then I was like, if these assholes turn my words into a song, especially a phrase I've been saying for the past like 6 months, like consistently, like no. And so I went in to a session with Johnny Shore and DeLacy, who I just absolutely adore. DeLacy, like her artist project, her as a writer, and like Johnny Shore, I love his production. Like there's just two people I think so highly of, and I just absolutely love what they do musically. And I was just like, I'm so mad. We have to write this song. I don't care if it's good. I don't care about anything. We just have to write it, because I refuse for anybody else to write this. And then,
Hell yeah.
and then I liked it.
That is so petty, but I love it. That's like a good kind of petty, because you would assume that the song itself, if you just like heard about like the concept, maybe you might be like, oh, that's a little mean spirited, but like it's really wholesome because you're like talking about yourself and you're like, yeah, I can't believe that I care about this so much.
When you said like you were at a party with like a bunch of assholes and stuff, I was like, oh, it must have been a musician party.
They're amazing, but they're like weirdly competitive. I'm like, we can all thrive here, babes. We can all thrive here.
Chill out. Yeah.
I feel like there's different types of like musicians gathering. Like sometimes it's very like wholesome and it's really fun and you all do the same thing. So you just like you're in your bubble and it's really happy. Or there's like the sucking dick competition of like who's like doing the best, or God forbid an acoustic guitar comes out and you do like the like circle.
But it's even worse. It's even worse when you're at a non-musician party and then someone's like, "There's a piano over there. Play piano," and you're like, "Oh no, sing for us." No thanks.
No, but then there's some people who are like, "Oh my God, there's a piano here. That's so crazy. Oh my God!"
And they play chopsticks.
And then they just start like.
Play a song no one wants to hear because they've already heard it at every other party they've ever been to.
That was like the worst person at my uni. She would just always whip out the acoustic guitar just to make sure that everyone was looking at her.
Illegal.
We'll edit it out. Who are you talking about? I'm so curious. Oh, I was going to say, is it? Oh my God.
I am so grateful that I get to be here for this moment. Fuck her mom, fuck her sister, fuck her job.
Yeah, seriously.
Yes. Oh, thank you.
Fuck the shitty backhanded thing she said. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Fuck that bitch.
I was going to say, back to Indie Edgy Cool for a second. It kind of also feels like a response track to like some reactions on the internet about ABCDEFU. I mean, that song was obviously number one globally even earlier this year. So clearly you're doing a lot of things right. But there was also some controversy with people trying to call you like an industry plant, which I think was hilarious. Sorry. Like it's so funny when anyone calls anyone an industry plant to me. Yeah. There's such like a weird culture of like, I refuse to like things if they're being advertised to me, which is silly if you listen to pop music, because if you listen to any music, everything's being advertised to you.
I really don't like the narrative of people having, or even artists, but music in general, like people that are trying to make it in music in any way, the like narrative of doing it alone. Like, I feel like that's the last thing as musicians and people in music that we ever can do is do it alone. There's a very like specific amount of people who can even just like write the music, produce it, mix it, masters by themselves, do maybe even the creation of music alone, which that's not personally how I choose to do it, but some people, but even then, like, you still need a manager, you still need an agent, you still need somebody or something helping you, because I think it is really unrealistic to have to do everything alone. And especially now as artists, like we all have to be content creators, which I think, and it's a double-edged sword, because I think now more than ever, we have never, especially as music makers, have never had free access to people 24/7 all over the world. Like that should never happen. And you can do that free, and you can do it every single day as much as you would want. That doesn't necessarily guarantee you that those people are going to see the videos, but the fact that you have access to it is absolutely incredible. But also, like, none of us are in music to make videos, and none of us write songs to try and turn it into 15-second TikTok clips. And so I do think it's really funny when people are going around calling people industry plants, because it's like a lot of musicians, like, we don't want to actually be on TikTok. but we love the opportunity of being able to be on TikTok. And it absolutely changed my life. Like, I'm not going to act like it didn't, but I also am not going to act like it doesn't make me cry. I'm not going to act like making those videos weren't the most like awkward thing for me in the world. And I had to like make them like 10 or 15 times. So I felt like myself. I'm also still figuring out like what my relationship with social media is and what it is inside of my music. But I just really hate the thought of trying to act like we can do this alone, because for me, like, I love collaborating with people. I think people add a new perspective to my music, which I like. I can't produce music myself. I would love to be able to, but I just like, especially now, like, I just don't have the time to learn it. And so many other people are so talented in that. And I don't want to like try and do it all myself. And I need a manager. It would be so hard for me to try and like do all of this myself. And like, I have an independent female manager who I absolutely love and adore, but it's also like, does that make me like an industry plant? I have a record deal, and the day I put out ABC, I announced the Atlantic deal. I needed that help. Like, I couldn't necessarily do it myself, and I couldn't financially fully support my music career. So is it making me an industry plant if I like didn't want my mom to pay for my single cover?
I think a lot of it is like people just don't like when people are like nowhere and then suddenly they hear your name for the first time and they hear it 2 days later and then they hear it the day after that and they hear the day and they're like, who the fuck is this person and why am I hearing about them all the time when I was hearing about them not at all before? And I think the way for people to explain that, to like preserve their egos, that they weren't like in on it first, is to be like, oh, well, obviously the industry was up to this. Yeah. The industry, is if we're like all like on the same page. We have a Bible that we all follow.
I wish.
A blood oath.
That'd be so nice. Or even like people who work at labels are just like human beings that like it's not like this machine. Like, it's all humans sitting at a desk being like, what do we do? Like, also, if I were an industry plant and could guarantee success, Indie Cool would have 50 million streams by now if I had like streaming farms and all of that stuff too.
Retweet.
You know, like I would be having 1 million followers on Instagram and like.
So what you're saying is I should stream Indie Cool more. Well, don't have to ask me twice.
Has this inspired any new music upcoming?
It has, actually.
Hell yeah.
One inspired me to do the cover of Bad Reputation by Joan Jett, and because
Sick.
I don't give a damn about my bad reputation. It just kind of felt fitting for me at the time, at least a little bit. But honestly, I sometimes can get caught up in the fact that people don't like the song. I can like only look at those algorithms and only look at those comments. But then I look at the people who actually like the song. And I also recently wrote a song where I felt like everybody hates me. Like, I literally felt like, oh my God, everybody hates me. And it was almost empowering to live like everybody hated me, because then it doesn't really matter if everybody hates you. So you might as well do what you want to do, you know?
Like a Disney villain.
Yeah, a bit like in my villain era.
That's so empowering. I have fantasies about being a Disney villain, because then I'm like, I don't even have to give a fuck about what other people think.
You already have the Cruella hair as well.
Exactly.
It's perfect.
Could be.
So I have to ask, have you heard the Kids Bop version of ABC?
Here's the thing.
I was dying to know this, by the way.
I fully auditioned for Kids Bop twice. I once made it through the first initial rounds, and I had to like go to a location, show up. I sang "This Girl Is on Fire." Yeah, "Girls on Fire" by Eilish.
Yes.
Shout out. And then I sang the Cup song, gave my full heart to this performance, and they did not pick me. I was not picked. I did not win. But yes, I have. And honestly, it was very full circle.
And now they're covering you, and it looks psychotic. It looks psychotic. Like the kids being like, A, B, C to forget you. And they're like so insanely happy. Oh my God. It like gives me nightmares.
It gave me so much joy. It brought me so much joy, because I got rejected by Kids Bop, and now it warms my heart.
You're like ABCD FU Kids Bop.
Don't say that.
No FU to the children. No.
Now it's time for one of my favorite segments of this show, called Pop Heads Gone Viral. Nowadays, so many older songs are going viral and even climbing into the top 10 of the Billboard Hot 100. So we thought that it would be really fun to like bring in a few songs and find ways to make these old songs go viral and maybe chart again. So GAYLE, are you ready to make these songs go to the top?
I believe in us.
Yes.
Okay, so the 4 options are remix featuring Miley Cyrus,
Okay.
a TikTok challenge, a re-recording,
or
a version slowed and reverb.
Okay.
So the first song is Pillow Talk by Zayn.
Ooh.
How do we make this go into the top 10 once again?
Do we want a Miley duet? Do we want TikTok challenge, re-recording, or slowed and reverb?
You know, I want Pillow Talk slowed in reverb.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. I bet that already exists too.
I feel like,
Okay, great.
yeah, I feel like that, or like just reposting the music video, and then Gigi Hadid's in that music video, right?
Oh,
Or I
yeah.
would just do fan edits. I'd do fan edits of Gigi Hadid to Pillow Talk slowed and reverbed of like the music video.
I'm going to find this like video on the internet in like a couple months and I'll be like, was this GAYLE?
All right.
But is Pillow Talk like already slowed and reverb? Do you know what I mean? Like,
So maybe an unslowed and unreverbed Pillow Talk is what we need. The Nightcore version, I guess, is the opposite.
anyway, so the next song is Sugar We're Going Down by Fall Out Boy. A re-recording.
I would say Miley Cyrus.
I think so too.
I think that'd be sick.
Especially like if it was in like Plastic Hearts kind of sound.
Yeah.
I could totally hear that.
Yeah, I think that'd be great.
Kind of edgy.
Iconic.
Another song is TikTok by Kesha.
I think just put her on. That's it. It's already viral.
Re-release it as is.
Just put the sounds on TikTok. It'll do its thing.
I would love to hear Bangers Miley on TikTok.
I was going to
though.
say, I want to hear Miley on TikTok.
And not a TikTok challenge of the song TikTok.
It's too on the nose.
I mean, that's true because Lady Gaga's song Just Dance is not featured on the Just Dance video games. So
I honestly always thought that was the theme song to Just Dance, the video game.
oh yeah, but what is their theme song? It's like dance,
Oh yeah.
and then it's just a bunch of beats.
Yeah, this is the most off-topic thing ever, but for some reason this reminds me this is a bad segue. But you know the song with Paul McCartney, Rihanna, and Kanye West?
Yes, 4 or
They're
5
like,
seconds.
I thought that was 5 seconds of summer for a really long time.
4 or 5 seconds of summer.
Really thought that it was Kanye West, Paul McCartney, and Rihanna. Like that was 5 seconds of summer. Like that was it. And then obviously like I learned, and they're absolutely amazing, 5 Seconds of Summer, and like all very nice and sweet people. But
Yeah.
I like embarrassingly really thought, I mean, but honestly, that'd be sick. I'd love that.
That would be
band.
so fun.
Yeah. Anyways.
Anyway, so let's move on to the last part of our show. This is our top 5. This is where we list our top 5 of a certain category. And so this episode, we're going over our top 5 songs by teenagers.
We're a little on the nose with this one.
Yes, we cannot choose you, GAYLE, in order to avoid bias.
My number 5 is Sick Thoughts by Louis Blissett.
Oh.
He was like on The Voice UK Kids, like very, very specific TV show. But he, I think, won or something because he has this like amazing voice. And he was like 13, 14.
Oh, wow.
But he has 2 songs on Spotify and they both are so good. And this one, Sick Thoughts, like you would think that he's like 25, but he's like 16. And he's like an Ariana Grande stan. So it's like very jarring to hear like him do like some Billie Eilish, like cool, edgy shit. So my number 4 is JoJo Anything.
Ooh.
She's a legend. I have JoJo constantly in my top 5s on this show.
As you should.
Yes. My number 3 is Miley Cyrus. This list could have easily just been all Miley Cyrus, but I had to stop myself. My number 3 is Can't Be Tamed. That video was insane. It was so like memorable, and that song is just like we can't stop before we can't stop, you know. It's Banger Miley in utero. I did not expect myself to say that. And my number 2 is Dancing Crazy by Miranda Cosgrove.
Oh shit.
Hear me out. This is a bop.
It is a
This
bop.
is a
Oh my
bop.
God.
Say what you want about this song, but it's like pure bliss. You know, it's like written by Avril Lavigne and Max Martin. So like, how could it get better? I love this song so much.
Yeah.
And my number 1 is Crush by David Archuleta.
David! good.
Yes, I will listen to this song till the day I die. I love David Archuleta. His voice is so silky. It's so much fun to sing along to, and it reminds me of my little sister.
Aww.
So
Cute.
That's so sweet.
So I'll go next. My number 5 is Driver's License by Olivia Rodrigo.
nice.
Yes, I still don't have my driver's license, but I feel that song intimately.
Well, you don't?
You don't have your driver's license?
You know this.
No,
Guys.
this is the first time I'm learning. I've known you for 6 years.
Wow.
This is the first
You've
time
never
I've
seen
ever
her
learned
drive?
this.
That's never...
Well, we live in the UK. So
We
I
live in
don't
the
drive here either.
UK. Yeah, so I didn't need to get it because I moved
Oh my God.
abroad. And I was like, no way, I'm driving on the other side. Fuck that.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, number 4 is Misery Business by Paramore because I'm a little moody bitch.
No.
My number 3 is Pink Party by Isaac Dunbar.
Oh,
Yes, I'm so glad you included him.
yes, Isaac.
I am so glad you know Isaac Dunbar. Hell yeah.
Of course.
Taste.
Oh my God, do a song together. I'm just planting that idea.
Ooh, Pink Party remix will make it go viral.
Yes, Slowed and
Slowed and
Reverb.
Reverb
Yeah.
re-recording
Featuring Miley
TikTok
Cyrus,
challenge featuring
Gayle.
Miley Cyrus and Gayle.
Anyway, so my number 2 is Wait a Minute by Willow. I've loved this song since it came out, and I was so deeply shook that she was like 15 when this happened
yeah.
because what the fuck. And then my number 1, I'm kind of cheating because this is the live version that came out before the actual one, but he was 19, so it counts. And I've had this as my number 1 before, but so maybe you listeners will know this. It's Jesus, Jesus by Noah Gunderson because folk music has my little heart. I mean, I have so many honorable mentions. This was so difficult.
I was expecting Avril Lavigne or Jonas Brothers, but there we go.
Those are all in my honorable mentions.
I know.
Anyway, what about you, Gayle?
Well, first one is Avril Lavigne.
God bless.
The
Slay.
day ABC went number 1, my best friend and I did karaoke and we sang Skater Boy on the top of our lungs. And that was like very much so a main character moment. That was like the best day ever. Especially
So cute.
we were just in Nashville and it was like only country songs that were getting sang. And then like we walk up and it's like Skater Boy and we're like, and the next was Kelly Clarkson. But I also really love Complicated just because I love the chorus melody.
It's timeless.
Will just forever just be like such a hit.
It's true.
Just such an undeniable hit. Lord, Royals. I feel like another one, also Billie Eilish. I would say my favorite song of hers, it like switches a lot, but I'd probably say Zanny, just like the production of that song. I just absolutely adore. Also Olivia Rodrigo, because Olivia Rodrigo, our queen, our Lord and Savior, the love of our lives. I would say Deja Vu is probably my favorite. Or Brutal. Deja Vu and Brutal.
Oh, so
It's
good.
so good.
Yes.
And then Baby Doobie, she put out her first song actually when she was 17. And
Yes.
I
Whoa.
adore her.
I didn't know
Her
that.
first song, Coffee, it came out in 2017, the one that got remixed and like really big on TikTok.
No way.
Yes.
Yeah, I saw her live earlier this year with
Same.
Sola.
She's so good. She's so good. And I also really love Cologne. That's another song of hers that I really love. Care is
Yes,
also
I love
really
Art
good.
Class.
Yes, she plays bass. Is also really fucking good. I love that song.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, Gayle.
Thank
If
you.
people want to find out more about you, what you're doing, where should they go online?
You can go on my Instagram, which is just Gayle, Gayle. You can go on my Twitter, which is Who Is Gayle. You can go on my TikTok, which is Gayle Can't Spell.
I love Gayle Can't Spell.
Well, I'm dyslexic, so I made it as a joke. Literally, the dude I wrote ABCDFU about, he was on TikTok, so I made a TikTok to watch his TikTok. So now I was just like,
Oh no.
so,
Amazing.
little tiny detail. But yeah, so I've kept it that. It's the icon is a Whataburger little like the numbers for your order, and it's a 69, and we stole it, and I just forever have that. So that is me on TikTok, and I'm on Instagram and Twitter and YouTube and all the things.
And then also make sure to check out Gayle's second EP, A Study of the Human Experience Volume 2. That's out now on all streaming platforms. It includes the song FMK with Black Bear, that stands for Fuck, Marry, Kill. So naturally the music video is just them killing each other over and over again. Thank you so much, Gayle, for coming on the show. And thank you to Noah for the new theme music and Nick for the episode artwork.